3-1 the count here. Maybe Jeremy could find a pitch to drive. As he hits one high and deep to left field, got a shot at the track. It's good. Jeremy Pena, a career .353 hitter against Tampa Bay, the best of any team he faces, puts the Astros in front 1-0.
All we needed was TK to complain a little bit, and we get somebody hitting the ball hard.
Jeremy Pena with a home run for the second straight day in Tampa Bay against the Rays.
To the kid listening, that's how you should do it the next time in class.
Yeah,
just extend it.
Just keep it going.
Also, not a bad influence. Could be way worse.
The deep steel blue pill, I actually am a little concerned about. Now that guy brought it up, I was like, oh, yeah, children listen to us from time to time, and I'm irresponsible. Joe behaves. Sean, sometimes.
It could go either way. Also, school's back in.
That's
no more
true.
kids listening.
The kids are back in school.
We're going to be NC-17 again.
Is school back now?
I think they started this week.
Yeah, I think HISD started this week.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
They started mid-August now?
Yeah, I think my dad's students start on Monday, I think.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. In the Northeast, it started in September.
Yeah, after Labor Day?
After Labor Day.
Yep.
And then in Florida, I remember our two-a-day practices would start in late July, and I hated how the school year started in August. I felt like it was sacrilegious.
Yeah, it was weird. Like when I went to college, it was started before Labor Day, the first school I went to, and that was the first time I'd ever done it, and it felt so strange. I also thought it was a huge waste of time to go to class for a week, and then the next week, all your Monday classes were off, and I was like, why didn't we just start the week after?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just so
yeah, we would always start the Wednesday before Labor Day. And so you would go to school for 3 days and then have a 4-day week after that. It was always so strange.
Well, while we're talking about going back to school, the Astros don't go back to school until next week. Damn, I am so good at this. I'm so good. What a transition, because the Astros played the White Sox over the weekend, and they should school them. You would think.
Pretty easily. I mean, unless Arrighetti has a terrible start tonight or tomorrow night.
And, I mean, he's coming off of 25 strikeouts in 2 starts.
I think it's the most excited for all the games I am this weekend. Just to see what Arrighetti, if there's a hat trick here for him. Just to see what he can do again against
15
an awful
strikeouts.
lineup.
Can Arrighetti get 15 strikeouts?
20 strikeouts.
I mean, that would be insane. If he gets 20 strikeouts, even if it's against the White Sox, that has happened so few times. We talked about that, what was it, last week?
I think so, yeah.
I think 20 strikeouts has happened only 6 times, something like that. It's hard to do. Anyway, the Astros have a 2.5-game lead on the Seattle Mariners in the American League West after a season-high 8th win in a row. Best record in baseball since April 27th. And now you've got to take a look at the Astros schedule going up against the Mariners schedule and ask this question. How much bigger can the Astros make this lead? Next 3 games against the White Sox certainly help, and the Detroit Tigers have been helping. They've won the first 2 games of this series that they're playing against Seattle right now. They are trailing 1-0 in the top of the 4th. That game's on the TV in our studio right now. Going forward, Joe, I took a look at the Astros schedule. I crunched some numbers, used a calculator. I added up all the winning percentages and divided them. And then I added up all the rankings and the standings and divided them. The average win percentage of teams the Astros are playing the rest of the way is .501. And it's a slightly better than third place schedule. The teams that they're playing average at about 2.9th place, for whatever that's worth. Meanwhile, the Mariners schedule the rest of the way a little easier, but not a lot easier. .494, the average winning percentage of the teams they go up against the rest of the way. Each team is averaging about third place. So you look at both of these schedules, Joe. How much bigger can the Astros make this lead? Is it still in jeopardy just based off of the very difficult stretch coming up for the Astros after the White Sox, Boston, at Baltimore, at Philly, against Kansas City.
I think if you can get through September 1st with a 4-game lead in the division, I think you should be pretty set with what their schedule, the Astros schedule, looks like the rest of the year. You still have like Arizona after that, who is right on the heels of the Dodgers at this point this season, has been playing pretty good baseball. But your schedule really drops off after September 1st, where you play the Reds, the A's, you play the Angels 6 times. And for the Mariners, they play a bunch of bad teams. They have 6 games left this season versus the A's. They have 7 games versus the Rangers. How high can it get? I mean, at this point, I don't really believe in the Mariners. So, more than 5?
Whoa.
I would say. I would feel confident in saying that they can win this division by at least more than 5 games this year.
I want to say that, but let's look at it from this perspective. Here are the noteworthy teams the Astros play the rest of the way. 3 against Boston, 4 at Baltimore, 3 at Philly, 4 at home against Kansas City, 3 against Arizona. I was surprised to see this, but the Diamondbacks are in second place in the National League West. The Padres are right on their heels in third place in the National League West. They have 3 in San Diego. They have 3 games against Seattle, the second to last series of the year at Minute Maid Park. And then this is where it gets tricky. If Cleveland is doing what Cleveland's been doing, there's a chance that Cleveland's not trying as hard in this series, but they wrap up the year in Cleveland against the Guardians, who incredibly have the best record in the American League.
Yeah, they're 5-5 in their last 10, but they're playing really good baseball. In a perfect world, you would love to be able to find a way to put yourself in position as the Houston Astros to surpass the Cleveland Guardians for a bye in the first round of the playoffs.
I mean, but it's
a daunting task. It's 6.5 games, right? 6.5 games out right now of a bye in the first round of the playoffs. So it's not easy, for sure.
I don't think it's possible. Could be wrong. But that's going to be very hard, just given all those good teams that they are playing against. Maybe iron sharpens iron, as the Texans say, but I'm still looking at the Mariners because the Mariners the rest of the way, it is relatively easy. They have 3 games in LA against the Dodgers, and then they got, in a row, 5 cupcakes, a little cupcake buffet. San Francisco, Tampa Bay, Angels, Oakland, St. Louis. They have 2 games against San Diego, just 2. 3 against the Yankees at home, right in the heart of smoke season. I bet there'll be a fire. It's just how Seattle rolls. August, September, there's always like a big fire in the West. And at the Astros, they have an easier schedule the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. I just have a hard time seeing the Astros running away with the AL West. And I feel like we're not going to be focusing on the Astros getting one of those buys. We're going to be focusing on them potentially clinching it in that 3-game series, the second to last of the year at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros have been in tight races the last 2 years. I mean, you've seen people clinch divisions on the last day of the season in Houston the last 2 years. The Diamondbacks and, the Phillies the year before that both those things happened. So we know it comes down to the end of the season. I would love for it to be over by the time you get to that Seattle series, just so we don't have to. It's not a stressful time, but it also has a little bit of a playoff primer if you have to. But I just don't. It's just something about Seattle, the way they're playing right now, that feels like they're about to go into more of a rut. I mean, I know right before this Tiger series, they swept the Mets.
I just think you want to be right about being more scared of the Rangers than the.
Well, no,
Mariners.
that takes a loss.
Man, the Rangers fell apart.
Yeah, that's an L on that take.
The Athletic put together. I was with you from the perspective of at some point the Rangers are going to wake up. The Athletic actually just put together a piece that came out today talking about how bad they've been, and generally the consensus around baseball was, well, they're going to figure it out eventually. And yeah, the season practically over right now. I'm not going to kill them again. Don't worry, that didn't work well for me last year. That was my bad take.
And they're 10 back.
Is it officially 10 now?
9.5.
9.5. See, okay, we got to. we can't close the door on the Rangers entirely yet.
Every half game matters.
We can only close the door on the White Sox officially. They
Yes.
were officially eliminated. We asked the question. They were officially eliminated hours later.
Yeah, I think that night they lost and were officially eliminated.
Yeah.
Well, because I think all of us were just like, how are they not out of it yet?
Yeah, we're doing the math. They have 90 losses.
Yeah, it's like this doesn't really make sense. And that night they were officially eliminated.
To go back to what you were saying about the Mariners, I want to believe that they're about to enter a rut. We all do. We would like this to be a little bit easier for the Astros down the stretch so that they can potentially rest some of their arms come postseason time. But that schedule is easy enough for them to, at the very least, stay within range.
Yeah, you can't count on it. You got to do your job. Like that's all the Astros can do right now.
That's
is
true.
Just focus on themselves.
One day at a time.
Just you have the lead now. Don't give it back. Don't give it back.
Yeah, I can see it staying at like a 3 or 4 game lead, just kind of like at arm's length for the rest of the season.
Well, let's get to 3 because that hasn't happened yet this year.
Yeah, but like,
the White Sox.
I could easily see it just like be fluctuating between like 1 to 4 games, just like kind of the rest of the season.
Listen one more time. Let's see them get to 3.
Okay.
They could be. I mean, they could be at 3 in an hour.
They're winning 1-0. The Mariners are.
Yeah, the Mariners got walked off last night, so
Okay, that's fine, but I am not counting the chickens before they hatch. Big farm guy here. Shout out to daylight savings time. Big believer in that.
Yeah, you love that. You're like, thank God for daylight saving.
And as a big farm guy, I'm not putting the plow cart ahead of the horse, and I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch.
we're not counting on our chickens before they hatch.
I'm not putting my hoe on a pedestal, as they say on the farm.
That is a farm
That's what they say.
I'm putting my back into my hoe, and
And you put your bros before your hoes, actually.
that's true because that's the Saturday. Like farmers notoriously they don't work on the weekends.
That's true. They just, that's
I
why.
totally
5
make
o'clock
that up.
Friday, they're like, I'm
They're just
done.
like,
Hawaiian
We're done.
Hawaiian shirt Fridays for farmers.
These cows better not moo at me for the whole weekend. I won't answer until Monday morning.
I want to make a farmers only profile,
Yes. I also want you to.
and then the first thing I write on the profile, the first prompt is looking for my other hoe.
I'm
you
sure
think
they'll
that's
love
like-
that. I'm sure they'll love that.
Do you think it's like
Farmer
sending, like,
joke.
pictures to like get on, like you have to like prove you work on a farm?
I'll just do a photo shoot.
Yeah, you can just.
I have a green screen. So,
You're right.
I'll just get some overalls,
Dirty them up a little bit.
shirtless overalls, and we're put on
Put some
a
hay in your mouth.
straw hat. Yeah, a little hay, pitchfork.
I mean, look, you never
Put the
know.
leg up like I'm Captain Morgan.
Paul Gallant, the face of farmersonly.com.
Paul Gallant here for FarmersOnly.com.
I'm all for that. I think that'd be very
I
fun.
mean, I'm giving the sales staff.
I do have to
opportunities
tell you bad news that the next Bachelor is from Houston. It's not you.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed.
They made a mistake. They chose the wrong person.
Yeah. What's this? I mean, what does he do? Is he an ex-athlete?
Used to be an NBA player, I think.
Used to be an NBA. Okay.
So he's tall.
He's tall.
So he played college basketball.
Yeah, he probably had like a cup of
That's
coffee in the G League.
That's the funniest part about these reality shows is that they say these people are like former professionals. Did they ever play in a game? No. Did they even make it out of a training camp? No. That's why they're on this show.
Yeah. It wasn't like Jordan Rodgers on it, and they
Yes.
treated it like he was
NFL star.
like he was Aaron Rodgers. They
No,
basically
but in Aaron Rodgers' book, apparently there is a section where it says he got upset during that time because they directly referred to him as Jordan Rodgers' brother and not Aaron Rodgers. And that made him upset when that happened on television. Which makes me giggle.
What a family. Yeah, you got to take your Bears victories where you can. That's one.
yeah, that's a Bears win over the Packers.
Raise a banner. Raise a banner for that one.
I think Jordan Palmer was a Bear, so I'll take it.
Was he?
I think so.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, man. That's The Bachelor for you, everybody. That is it.
Maybe next year, Paul.
Gonna be single forever. Me and
No,
my
that's
cat.
not true. You're just not going to get on the show.
Me and my cat, we're hanging out. We're
different.
having so much fun.